was nearing 9:30 p.m. The house was dim except for the soft glow of the hallway light and the flickering cartoon still running in the tablet. Vine sat at the edge of the sofa, her arms folded, her eyes glued to the front door as the clock ticked louder with each passing second. Then the clock clicked. She didn't even flinch because she knew who would come in. Jungkook stepped in, keys jingling as he pushed the door open with his shoulder, juggling his laptop bag and blazer. His hair was a mess from the wind, his white shirt slightly damp from the light rain. But Vine didn't get up. Hi, his voice was cautious. You are late, she replied with no warmth, no hello, just flat. Jungkook glanced at the clock and sighed. I told you I had a meeting. You said you would try to be home by 8, she replied, eyes still on the tablet where their baby Arya had dozed off mid-episode. She waited for you, refused to eat dinner without you, kept asking, where is daddy, when is he coming, until she finally knocked out crying. He dropped his bag near the table. Why? I can't just leave a client meeting. You know how this quarter is. I know. She cut him off, finally turning to face him. But this is the 5th night this week you have missed bedtime. And every time you have the same excuse. I'm not making excuses, he said, frustration creeping in. I'm working for us, for our baby. I didn't marry you for your paychecks, Jungkook, she snapped. The silence that followed was so sharp. Baby Arya stirred in her sleep. Jungkook stared at her. So what? You think I'm just out there enjoying myself while you play the perfect mother here? Don't twist my words. I am not perfect. I just show up every night. I make up dinner, bath her, read to her, sing to her, hold her when she cries asking for you. Her voice cracked. You know what she said tonight? Maybe Dad doesn't want to come home to us anymore. His chest tightened. He looked at Arya, curled up on the couch in her favorite yellow pajamas, her thumb in her mouth and her curls sticking to her forehead. Guilt sliced through him like a blade. I didn't know she felt that way. She is 3, Jungkook. She feels everything. She is just starting to notice when people don't show up. And lately, that's been you. He sat down on the armrest, rubbing his temples. God, I'm trying so hard, Vine, at work, at home, and you're making me feel like I'm failing at both. Maybe I'm failing too, she whispered, voice softer now, breaking, because I don't even recognize us anymore. He looked up, their eyes locking. Neither said anything for a while. She finally turned, lifting Arya gently from the couch without another word, cradling her in her arms like a breakable secret. I will put her to bed. Later that night, the bedroom was too quiet. Vine lay stiff on the far end of the bed, staring at the ceiling. She didn't turn when the door creaked open. Jungkook stepped in slowly. He paused at the edge of the room. Do you want me to sleep here? Her throat tightened. She shook her head. No. A beat passed. Okay, he said. I will be on the couch. He left. She closed her eyes, tears slipping out silently. Downstairs, Jungkook lay on the couch, hands folded under his head, staring at the ceiling. The clock ticked. Neither of them slept. Next morning, the soft light of dawn crept through the curtains, golden and warm, but the bedroom still felt cold. Vine stirred awake slowly, her body aching from tension more than sleep. She reached instinctively across the bed but found it empty, just the neatly folded blanket on his side. She blinked, then he sat up. She knew he wouldn't be there. but some foolish part of her still hoped he would come back in the night. She got up and walked toward the door, pausing to glance into Arya's room. Their baby girl was still fast asleep, sprawled across her bed like a starfish, one tiny sock missing. She smiled faintly. In the kitchen, the smell of freshly brewed coffee drifted in from the living room. The sound of water running, a cabinet door closing. Jungkook. He was already dressed in navy blue shirt, sleeves rolled up, his tie hung loose around his neck. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept all at either. He didn't see her watching. "Morning," she said finally. He turned startled. "Hey, I made coffee. Thanks." Both stood awkwardly in the kitchen, as if unfamiliar with each other's presence. "I'll be heading out soon," he said after a pause. "Big pitch today, right? Shouldn't be too late tonight." She nodded, then a soft yawn behind them. "Mummy?" Arya walked in, dragging her favorite bunny behind her. She rubbed her eyes and toddled over to Vine. "Good morning, love," she said, crouching down to hug her. "Did you sleep well?" "Yes." "Is Daddy here?" "I'm here, baby," he called, kneeling down with arms wide open. She sequeled and ran into his arm. "You are going to office?" He hugged her tightly. "Yeah, sweetheart, I have to go now." "Not yet," she protested, gripping his shirt. He chuckled. "I'll be back before dinner, okay?" "But what about the kissy?" He blinked. "You already gave me 100 kisses." "No, the kissy from Mummy to Daddy," she pouted. "You always get it before you go." Vine froze. Jungkook looked over at her. Their eyes locked again. The same air from last night came rushing back, stiff, unsure, and charged with something fragile. Arya frowned. "Why are you not kissing Daddy today?" Vine cleared her throat. "It's just a busy morning, baby." "Please," she said, voice trembling. "Please, Mummy, just one kiss, like every day." Jungkook stepped closer. "It's okay," he said gently, "only if you want to." Vine looked down at Arya's big expectant eyes. Her heart clenched. Slowly, she walked over to him, their faces inches apart. Her voice was barely a whisper. "This is only for her." And she leaned in and pressed a soft kiss to his cheek. But the moment lingered. His hands touched her wrist. Their eyes met again, something deep and quiet passing between them. "Thank you," he whispered. Arya clapped with delight. "Yay!" Vine blushed, stepping back. But before she could leave, Jungkook caught her hand. "Don't go yet." She looked at him, surprised. He took a breath. "I called my office while you were sleeping. Told them I'm taking a leave." "What?" "I need to fix what we messed up last night," he said softly. "And I miss you. I miss us. Let us just be here today, together." Tears welled in her eyes. Arya shouted, "Yay, Daddy's staying." Jungkook smiled, still holding Vine's hand. "Only if you want me to." She nodded, "Just once, but that was enough." The morning slowly bloomed into sunlight. Jungkook had taken off his tie and folded his sleeves again, this time willingly. He looked relaxed for the first time in weeks. Vine poured 2 cups of coffee while Arya danced in the living room with her teddy bear, wearing a crown made from old cardboard. "You are sure you are not going to get fired for skipping today?" Vine teased, sliding him the mug. He took it, their fingers brushing lightly. "Let them try. I will show them a picture of Arya in that bunny pajama and tell them I had an emergency of national cuteness." Vine rolled her eyes, trying to suppress a smile. Besides, he added, you said I'm always distant, right? So maybe I need to remind myself how to just to be here. She raised a brow. And I forgot how good your coffee smells, he said, sipping it slowly. She paused, then looked away. Her ears flushed a little pink. They moved into the kitchen side by side. Vine took out the bread while Jungkook opened the fridge. You are making the toast, she declared. He shot her a look. I'm making a legendary toast for my wife. Oh no, she groaned. Not the butter slap and charred edges again. You insult my toast making skills and I expect peace in this household? He asked, mock offended. Arya waddled in, still hugging her beer. Daddy, Mr. Coco needs help putting up his bow. Jungkook dropped the butter knife dramatically. I have an emergency. He knelt beside her. Where is his bow, soldier? In the princess basket, Arya said softly. Right, Commander Coco will be ready in 2 minutes. Vine watched him crawl toward the toy bin, searching through plastic tiaras and tiny socks. Her heart warmed and ached at once. The version of him was the man she had fallen in love with. The man he used to dance in the kitchen with a newborn Arya in his arms at 2 a.m. And yet, somewhere in the blur of deadlines and routines, that softness had dulled. Don't burn the toast, she called. I will burn it with love. Please don't. They ended up laughing. They made eggs toast that was only slightly burnt, fruit slices in the shape of stars. Arya made them both wear paper crowns from her coloring book. Vine rolled her eyes but didn't remove hers. Jungkook saluted her every time he passed by. Your Majesty? It was almost too peaceful, too sweet, until Vine carried the laundry basket to the back room. Laundry room moments later. It was warm inside. Dusty sunlight poured through the glass brick window. The scent of soap clung to the air. Vine set the basket down and stared at it blankly. One of Arya's tiny shirts were crumpled on top. She picked it up, holding it to her chest, and slowly sank it to the edge of the machine. All at once, the quiet crumpled her, the fight, the loneliness, the weight of pretending everything was fine for Arya's sake. The softness of this morning had almost shook her into thinking it had all gone away, but her heart still ached. The kind of ache you carry in your bones when you miss someone, even while sleeping beside them. She pressed her palm over her eyes, and that's when she felt it, a slow, familiar warmth pressed against her back, arms wrapped around her waist gently, no pressure, just presence. Jungkook rested his chin lightly on her shoulder. I was looking for you. She didn't respond, but he didn't leave. You okay? He asked softly. Vine wiped her cheek quickly. Yeah, just tired. He hugged her tighter from behind, rocking her ever so slightly. Why? She finally turned a little in his arms. I'm scared. His brows furrowed. Of what? That this is just one sweet morning and then tomorrow we will go back to being strangers in the same house. Jungkook leaned his forehead against hers. I don't want us to go back, he whispered. I want us to go forward, even if it's messy, even if I screw it up sometimes. She met his eyes. You did screw up. He nodded. I knew. I wasn't there. I thought I was doing the right thing, working harder to provide. But you needed me home. I needed you, she whispered. Not just your presence, your partnership, your love. I'm here now, he said, voice barely a whisper. And I'm not running back to the office, not until I have fixed this. Us. A bit of silence, then she whispered, voice breaking, I missed you even when I hated you last night. He let out a breath that sounded like a laugh, and his sob tangled together. Same, God, same. She let her forehead drop against his chest, and he kissed her hair. I love you, he murmured, even when I am a clueless idiot. She smiled into his shirt. You are. They stood there for a long time, just holding each other beside the hum of the washing machine. In the living room, Arya peeked around the corner, her crown slightly curved, a piece of toast in one hand. She grinned. Mummy and Daddy are hugging, she declared proudly to her teddy bear. Shh, don't disturb, they are in love again. The day passed quietly. They made lunch together. Arya insisted they have a royal picnic in the living room using her tiny tea set and fluffy animal guest. Vine sat cross-legged on the floor, while Jungkook tied a napkin around Mr. Coco's neck like a bib. But once Vine went down for her nap, finally, peacefully, snoring with her crown tilted sideways, the house felt heavier again, like the quiet now dared them to speak. Jungkook had taken his evening coffee to the bedroom window. Vine lingered in the hallway. He glanced at her. She said cold. I think she was happy today, really happy. He sipped. She is like us, feels everything. Another pause. Then, softly, do you want to talk? She leaned against the door frame. About? He met her gaze. Us, the distance, last night, everything. She hesitated, then nodded. They didn't talk in bed or on the couch. Instead, Vine surprised him by walking toward the bathroom and turning on the tub. Jungkook stood frozen at the doorway. Are you? You used to say the tub is where you thought best, she said quietly, pulling out lavender oil from under the counter. And I used to say I hated baths until you convinced me there were tiny oceans I could cry in without anyone noticing. He smiled faintly. I remember saying that. She turned to him. Join me? His heart gaped. He didn't ask for what she meant by it. Emotionally, physically, symbolically. He just nodded. Inside the bath, the light were dim, the water was warm. She had lit one candle, the vanilla kind he used to tease her for wearing. They both slid in, carefully, silently. Their knees bumped under the water, his foot brushed against hers once. She didn't pull back for a while. They just breathed, and then she spoke. You know what hurts more than the fights? Her voice was soft, watery like the candlelight. It's not being seen, not being heard. It's talking and realizing the person you love the most doesn't have room left to really listen. Jungkook's throat tightened. I see you, Vine. I have just so buried between trying to keep everything from falling apart that I didn't notice I was losing you instead. I don't want a husband who just provides, she said. I want a husband who chooses me every day. She looked at her. I forgot how to show that in my busy office life. Then relearn, she whispered. He reached out under the water and touched her wrist. I want to, he said. I want to relearn you, your silences, your smiles, the way you hold your coffee when you're upset, the exact way you braid Arya's hair in every morning. I want to start again. She looked at him, blinking back a tear. And what if I don't trust yet? She asked, voice trembling. What if I'm scared it will go back to being cold again? He leaned in slowly. Then we start slow, he murmured. One bath, one apology, one bedtime story, one honest moment. She let out a shaky breath. His thumb gently stroked her knuckles under the water. Then her voice, a new whisper. You still know how to flirt during a family bath? He grinned. Depends. Are you open to inappropriate toy nudges under the water? She gasped softly, eyes widening. Jungkook, he smirked, teasing now. Don't test me. I have had months of pent-up bathtub energy, woman. She laughed, a real laugh. Then, more seriously, she cupped his cheek with her wet hand. I'm still mad at you. I deserve it. But I missed you, she said, lips trembling again. He leaned forward, their foreheads touching over the scented water. I missed us, he said, and I will do anything to bring it back. Even Arya's princess tea parties every Saturday. She teased gently. I will wear the tiara. Deal. He kissed her slowly, then a soft, patient, asking for nothing more than a moment. It wasn't rushed, it was warm, honest, like an apology and a promise stitched together. When they pulled away, her lashes were wet, but her eyes held something new, hope. Later that night, they tucked Arya in together. Vine read the bedtime story while Jungkook did the silly voices. Arya kept jiggling and calling them the bestest mummy and daddy in the world. Arya had finally fallen asleep, still clutching Mr. Coco like a plush hostage. Vine turned off the hallway light and tiptoed back to the living room where Jungkook was sitting, cross-legged on the floor, folding up a tea towel into a triangle. She raised a brow. What are you doing? Making a flag? He said proudly. A flag? Yes, for the Republic of Coco. His Highness requires proper symbolism. You have gone mad. I've always been bad, he said with a mock bow. You just took years to notice. She rolled her eyes. Oh, I noticed. I just ignored it because I was too busy falling for your jawline. Jungkook blinked. You fell for my jawline? I was young and dumb. Ouch, she grinned. You are lucky I still like you. Like? He crawled up to the couch like a dramatic, soft villain. Only like after the emotionally intense bathtub scene? I'm still evaluating your performance, she said coyly, flicking his forehead. Jungkook gasped, grabbing his chest. I see how it is. One vulnerable forehead touch and I get downgraded to like? Vine giggled and leaned back to the couch, one leg tucked under her. What can I say? I'm a tough crowd. He crawled up beside her. Do I get a chance to redeem myself? Depends, she said. What's your pitch? He suddenly grabbed her ankle playfully. Tickle integration? No, Jungkook. Too late. He pounced, fingers dancing across her sides as she shrieked and twisted, trying to escape. Okay, I like you, she screamed, laughing breathlessly. I like you, you idiot. Too late, he smirked. Now it's advanced tickle punishment. They rolled off the couch with a dull thud, Vine landing half on top of him, both of them breathless and red-faced. And suddenly the laughter faded just slightly, because her hand was on his chest, and he was staring at her lips. A beat passed, and then she raised a brow. If you're going to use the baby as an excuse to pin me to furniture, you might want a better strategy. Oh, I have a strategy, he whispered, brushing a lock of hair from her face. Oh yeah? It's called making you laugh until you fall in love again. Her eyes softened. That's dirty, she said, smile teasing, using laughter as emotional manipulation. I'm shameless. She leaned down. You are lucky you're cute. And then she kissed him. It was playful at first, noses pumping, lips still smiling, but it deepened just enough to leave them both breathless. When they finally pulled back, "You still taste like coffee," she mumbled. "You taste like victory. Stop being so smug. Stop falling for it." "Ah," she groaned, burying her face in his shoulder. "Why do I still like you?" "Because," he said softly, wrapping his arms around her, "we are still us, just a little older, a little messier, but still so stupidly in love." She sighed, content. "I missed this." So did I. They stayed there for a moment, tangled on the floor, the scent of lavender from earlier still clinging to her shirt, his hand tracing small circles on her back. Then, a tiny sleepy voice from the hallway. "Why is Mummy on top of Daddy?" Wine whelped and scrambled off Jungkook. Arya stood there holding Mr. Coco upside down, eyes half closed. "Are you two fighting again?" "No," they both said in unison, sitting up straight like guilty teenagers caught making out. "We were wrestling," she added weakly. Arya rubbed her eyes. "Like lions?" "Exactly like lions," Jungkook said. Arya yawned. "You both were." "I like it." She waddled over and climbed onto Vine's lap. "Now kiss and put me back to bed." Jungkook leaned in and pecked Vines on the cheek. "You," Arya giggled. "On the lips, Daddy." Vine glared. "Who taught her this?" You kiss me in front of her. Don't you dare act innocent." Arya yawned again. Already nodding off, Jungkook carried her back to bed. Vine followed, brushing their daughter's curls gently, kissing her forehead. Then they tiptoed back into the hallway. Jungkook smirked. "So, wrestling lions, huh? You're lucky I didn't say hippos." She shot back, walking ahead. He caught up, slipping his hand into hers. "Still like me?" She smiled. "Maybe I will love you." He bumped her shoulder lightly. "You are terrible at hiding it."